Well, hello there guys, and welcome to another one of my real-life range tests. Today we are going to drive on a very nice sunny day. However, it's still winter time, so the temperatures are still pretty low, but we are going to drive a car that should be used to lower temperatures. We're going to drive this brand new Volvo XC40 Recharge. And I am really curious about this car because it is one of the first attempts from Volvo to create a fully electric car. I know about Polestar, but Polestar technically is now a separate company. So if we're talking about cars with a Volvo badge, this is one of the first out there to do it in a purely electric fashion. So let's take a closer look at it. Let's talk about the specs and then we're gonna set off. So here it is in all of its beauty, and I gotta say I really like Volvo designs. This is nothing more than an electrified XC40, so some changes have been done to its design, but they have been mostly limited to this front grille that has been blocked out. It has some slats over here for some air to get in under the hood, but that's about it. And there's some more slats down here also for cooling, because this car has a massive battery pack that will need some cooling. In terms of design, this is just like a regular XC40. I like the fact that we have it in black and white. It looks really good on this car, and yeah, we're gonna learn a lot more about it in my full review. But for now, let's talk about the specs of the car and what's relevant to the testing situation. So this is the dual motor setup. It has one electric motor on the front axle, one on the rear axle, 408 horsepower in total, and 660 Newton meters of torque. Under the floor, in between the two axles, we have a 75 kilowatt hour usable battery pack, which is really impressive. And according to Volvo, this should allow this car to cover up to 400 kilometers on a single charge. We're gonna test that out. Now, I should point out that even though it seems really sunny today, the temperatures are pretty low. It's about 4 degrees outside, and we are running on 19-inch winter tires. So these elements will take a toll on the overall performance of the car. But I don't know, considering this car was developed in Sweden, I think they took the cold weather into account, and I think this car will perform rather well. Let's step inside for a moment. Let me show you the rear seats first. Pretty nice. We also have a panoramic sunroof, looking really good. Let's get in the front as well. Typical Volvo style with the seats, leather and everything in between. And we have the new Volvo Google system. I mean, the new infotainment system is based on the Android ecosystem. In order to start the car, we don't have a start-stop button. All you have to do is press the brake and then shift into drive. Let's take a look at the specs. So right now the car is showing 95% battery charging state. So I left with 100%, but driving to the filming location took about 5% of the battery's resources. What I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the memory, the trip memory, and then we're gonna set off outside the city limits. If you've been watching my real-life range tests, you already know how I do them. I'm trying to get real-life results, not the best possible results out there. So right now we're going to set off on a couple of B roads to see how the car handles in those conditions at an average speed of about 75 kilometers an hour. Then we're going to hop on the highway and we're going to drive doing the speed limit, 130 kilometers an hour, and then we are going to do a 100 kilometer loop around town to see how the car behaves in those conditions as well. And I'm going to post updates after each segment. So let's set off. Okay guys, so we just finished the B-road section of our real life range test. Let's take a look at the results. So the onboard computer is showing 23.1 kilowatt hours of energy consumption for each 100 kilometers covered. We covered 36.5 kilometers in about 30 minutes. The average speed was 75 kilometers an hour, but it dropped now that I pulled over in order to film. So at this kind of energy consumption rate, considering the battery has a usable capacity of 75 kilowatt hours, you could expect about 320 kilometers in this type of at this kind of speed. Now the exterior temperature is 8 degrees Celsius and we are running on winter tires, and that's taking a toll on the results. Now we are going to hop on the highway, set the cruise control system at 130 kilometers an hour and see what kind of results we get over there. I'll post an update once we're done. I just finished the highway section of our real life range test. Let's see what kind of numbers we got. As you can see, the average energy consumption was around 29 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers covered. We covered nearly 50 kilometers in less than half an hour. The speed average did drop right now, but we ran the car at a stable 130 kilometers an hour for the entire test. The weather is still rather cold, 9 degrees Celsius, and we're still running on winter tires. Considering the usable battery capacity is 75 kilowatt hours and the energy consumption recorded was 29 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers covered, if my math is not mistaken, you should be able to do about 250 260 kilometers with a single charge. Mind you, I didn't cut on any creature comforts. I kept the AC on all the time, and the car doesn't have driving mode, so I couldn't use eco, green, any kind of less or more efficient driving mode, so I only used normal mode. Now we are going into the city and we are going to test out the inner city range, and we are going to do 100 kilometers around town to see how this car performs. I'll post an update once we are done. Okay, so welcome to day 2 of testing the real life range of the Volvo XC40 Recharge. We just finished the city route and let's see what kind of results we got. So after covering 98.4 kilometers, the average energy consumption is 23.2 kilowatt hours, done across nearly 4 hours of driving at 27 kilometers per hour on average speed. So considering the car has a battery of 75 kilowatt hours usable capacity, That means you could do about 320 kilometers around town with a full charge. Now, I should mention that I am running on winter tires as usual, and that the exterior temperature did go up this time. So it went up to an average of about 10 degrees Celsius. So that really helped out. However, I did use the car in my typical fashion. Basically, I drove it every day and took breaks in between 2 or 3 hour breaks. So the car had to cool off and reheat again. So all of that. So these are the results we got. I hope you guys enjoyed my real life range test. These are as accurate as possible, these results, and I'm going to leave a spreadsheet down in the video description where you can see how this car compares to its main rivals like the Audi Q4 or the Mercedes-Benz EQA. I had a brain fart over there. So that said, don't forget to like, share, and of course subscribe to keep this channel alive. And if you enjoy my real life range tests, don't be shy to hit the like button under this video. Until next time,